Court decision. Let's start with the impeachment first, no? To the Supreme Court decision ruling that it was unconstitutional.
Okay. Talaga naman na maraming question dun sa desisyon. Marami na tayong narinig ng mga statements sa mga legal luminaries, sa mga former members of the Supreme Court. And then the latest nga po, yung yung kakalabas lang kanina, was the statement from individual members of the UP Law faculty.
Yeah.
Okay, so ang malinaw is that there is an imperative need to really file a motion for reconsideration. And the House already made it clear, the Speaker already made it clear na talagang magpa-file ng MR within the 15-day period. And then malinaw din na talagang kailangan talaga na lalo natin ma-magnify, ma-engage ang taong bayan tungkol sa issue na to. Kasi ang daming implikasyon nito sa usapin ng accountability ay malaki ang implikasyon. Kasi nga ang nagiging parang consensus among those who already commented on it, on the decision, is that pinapahirap nito lalo ang mga requirements, ang process ng impeachment, na may mga binago, may binagong patakaran, at meron din dinagdag na mga patakaran or steps, lalo na if what is initiated is yung 1/3 vote from the House members. So this is something that should be really watched over by the people, kung ano ang magiging tugon ng Supreme Court sa iahain na motion for reconsideration.
Hold on. Since you mentioned the UP law statement, let me just bring it in for the benefit of our viewers, Congresswoman. It's a pretty long statement, but part of it reads at the bottom, in light of these established principles, we express our conviction that Congress is constitutionally vested with high prerogatives and thus deserves the appropriate defense in its procedures and in the conduct of impeachment. At the very least, given the House's reliance on 2 decades of precedents and practices, any new rules should be prospective in application, and we call on our democratic institutions to act in accordance with these fundamental principles and to foster a full public debate on the impeachment in keeping with constitutional accountability.
Definitely. I fully agree. Yan po yung concluding part of that statement. So talagang ina-uphold nila yung prerogatives ng House dahil nga pinakialaman dyan sa desisyon na yan. Instead of judicial restraint, ay nasobrahan yung pakikialam ng Supreme Court, naging judicial activism na para bang wala naman po sa lugar. So this is something that we cannot really just momentarily, and we cannot really gloss it over yung implications ng SC decision na ito. And even on the part, di ba, kasi marami namang nagsasabi na at the very least, prospective application lang instead of retroactive application. I-apply na kaagad yung mga bago nilang mga patakaran na linagay sa Supreme Court decision. But even that, we have to be careful also about that. Even that, I'm not amenable. Why? Kasi nga, that means okay na sa atin yung mga inintroduce na mga bago, lalo na yung tungkol sa how to initiate, when is it considered as deemed initiated, and also the additional requirements kapag 1/3 ang magfa-file. Imagine, requirements of due process, requirements of prior notice, and be furnished with copies of the evidence, due process, which is something that the requirement of due process can very well be accorded the impeached official at the trial stage already. Kaya may trial. So even that, dapat hindi pwedeng sabihin, sige, okay lang yan. But you have to apply it retroactively, prospectively, instead of retroactively. Not even a prospective application, I think, would be good for the stability of our constitution, our democratic processes, our mechanisms of accountability. It should still be questioned. Dapat malinaw at malakas ang magiging arguments sa motion for reconsideration about those two aspects. Kasi dun nga sa pag-interpret ng when is it deemed initiated, unang-una, that was premised on erroneous factual conclusions or factual findings, misappreciation of the crucial facts and events that transpired prior to the transmittal of the articles of impeachment to the Senate. And then yung tungkol naman dun sa direct filing ng 1/3, that would practically disrupt and delay to a significant degree the impeachment process and intruding into the exclusive prerogative of the House, as now argued in that statement of the UP Law faculty. So, yan ang paningin ko dyan. Yes.
Ma'am, inabangan
Pero
siyempre
anong nangyari kung yung mga nire-raise yung issue are very basic? I
Yes.
presume yung mga justices ng Supreme Court, lalo na yung ponente, who is a bar top notcher, ay mga learned, unlike namin ni Ed Lingao.
Sinama pa ako.
So, saan lang galing yung kanilang mga hugot? No? Yun yung kwan ko may political aspect ba rito? Dahil yung jurisprudence, very clear Yung mga basic na nire-raise nyo na dapat prospective rather than retroactive, very basic yan. Kahit siya isang abogado de Campanilla. So yung mga rules at saka yung constitution, very basic din. So ano nangyari? No, bakit ganyan yung kanilang desisyon? No, I presume again na hindi naman sila katulad namin ni Ed Lingao. No, na namumulot lamang ng mga legal na mga pananaw diyan sa kanto, no? Yun ang hindi ko maintindihan, Pong.
Ganon din po ako. Nahihirapan din ako how to really justify that, how to give them the benefit of doubt. And that's why we cannot blame certain sectors, certain groups. Ang sinasabi nila parang naging self-serving kasi para bang sinadya yung magiging mas stricto para mahirapan na talaga yung pagfa-file. And remember, they are themselves impeachable officials. Yes. And siguro naman they know, and the very rational ng mga drafters of the Constitution, kung bakit binigay sa Congress yung power to initiate and to try impeachment cases, ay dahil nga members of Congress are not among the impeachable officials.
Yes.
As an impeachable officials lang are from the judiciary, the Supreme Court, and then the executive, president, vice president, and constitutional commissions. So dun sa constitutional scheme of things, sa structure ng gobyerno natin under the Constitution, yung legislature talaga ang pinakapwede na mag-handle ng mechanisms of accountability as to those high officials kasi nga hindi naman impeachable officials ang mga miyembro ng Kongreso. And I'm sure the Supreme Court knows it. Kasi alam mo na, I think hindi rin maiiwasan na some of them maybe are thinking about the previous cases of impeachment. The Corona, and then the Gutierrez, the attempted impeachment then kay former CJ Davide, and even Justice Marvic Leonen himself may attempt then noon to also file impeachment complaint. So they're trying to be sure now about but that is very, very questionable. That is actually wrong, constitutionally defective na sila ang mag-i-impose ng mga ganyang mga requirements when the Constitution itself does not so impose. Because nga the whole rationale is mas madali na magpanagot dun sa mga matataas na opisyal na yan. And what are they, afraid of? Na yung impeachment process naman, it does not result really in imprisonment or whatever administrative or any other criminal sanctions, because the whole aim of impeachment is tanggalin na kaagad yung hindi karapat-dapat na hindi na dadaan sa mga masalimuot at matagal na judicial process, whether it's a criminal process or administrative process, because in the first place, impeachment proceedings are not criminal, administrative, or even civil. Kaya nga tinatawag na sui generis. Ibang-iba na to, ibang-iba to. Kaya hindi dapat pinapa-apply ng strictly yung mga evidentiary rules and even yung about due process, etc.
Pero kayong Congresswoman, you can be permanently barred from public office, and kung Supreme Court Justice ka, mawawala lahat yung napakalalaking benepisyo nila, no? Pension, retirement benefits, and even if it's, they might say it's a malicious speculation, pa-follow up ko ng question ni Ronald, na medyo self-serving tong ginawa nila eh. Dahil nga they are impeachable officials, and dahil nga dito, yun ang suspetsa, kaya unanimous. Are you planning, kung sakasakali lang, yung House, is the House planning to raise this issue na bakit naman ganyan na, di ba medyo self-serving yung ganyang ginawa ninyo na it's a judicial overreach? I mean, are you planning to raise that point? It's a valid point, even if they say na medyo parang malisyoso naman yung ano nyo na kami ang pinagsususpetsahan nyo na self-serving, di ba? But are you planning to raise that point?
Or baka conflict of interest po ba? Conflict of interest is the more appropriate phrase, if that is correct. Your thoughts po?
Kasi marami nang nagsasabi nun ngayon na it's less a defense of Sara Duterte, but a defense of themselves from future impeachment. Yan ang sinasabi ng mga tao ngayon actually.
Yes, hindi maiiwasan talaga kasi yan. Now, as of the moment, I'm not yet privy doon sa nagiging preparation ng Office of the Solicitor General, doon sa pag-prepare at pag-file ng motion for reconsideration. But I'm expecting na at least ay bigyan kami ng kopya, any interested member or sinong mga magre-request ng mga members of the House na makakita nung draft man lang para baka naman meron kaming pwedeng mag-contribute na inputs. Kasi ang daming mga substantive, napakaseryosong mga issues na raised now, and therefore it's very important na ma-present at ma-articulate ng Office of the Solicitor General these grounds and arguments, starting with the strongest argument all the way down to kahit hindi masyadong strong, but at least it would help in the deliberation. And right now, actually, even if yung iba, if not marami, ay parang sinasabi na ngayon na wala nang pag-asa yan. Dahil nga, it's unanimous.
Unanimous.
But I would say that pwede pa rin. I think they can still do a rethinking and re-examination of these points when the proper motion for reconsideration is filed. And hoping also that they admit their own mistakes in appreciating certain crucial facts dyan sa usapin. What's wrong with that? That if they admit, kasi no one is infallible. Nagkakamali rin naman. Even institutions can really commit errors other than individual members of the institution. So I'm really hoping, anyway, hope springs eternal. Hindi ako nawawala ng pag-asa na magkaroon ng talagang pagbabago, at least man lang the majority. O kaya if the majority still opts to stand by their original decision and would opt to deny the motion for reconsideration and insist on its core ruling na naging unconstitutional yung pag-initiate, and therefore wala na daw jurisdiction ang Senate over the trial, ay at least man lang may ilan sa kanila na mag-dissent.
Ma'am, himay ko lang po
Nakakagulat talaga yun na unanimous
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, himay ko lang po yung kasi iba po yung possible doon sa probable. Everything is possible but not everything is probable. Ngayon nga, given po the fact na you're looking at unanimous, or at least near unanimous kasi 13 lang, dalawa naman hindi bumoto. Given the fact na hindi siya a close fight or a narrow margin sa botohan, but basically 13 of those who voted are unanimous about it,
walang dissenting.
Walang dissenting. Ano po yung probability na I mean, realistically, ano po yung probability?
Dagdag kong sa tanong ni Ed, kung sakaling
Introduce our who is here in the flesh na pala.
Ito, ano pangalan mo ulit? Mr. Ronald
Heckler.
Ronald Heckler.
Kung, paano kung hindi nila pansinin yan? paano kung hindi lang nila hindi pansinin, insultuhin pa nila, katulad ng kanilang unang order sa Congress, no? Anong magiging recourse ng Kongreso? Yan ba ay pag-uusapan nyo sa Kongreso yung possible impeachment ng mga justices? Yan ba ay pupunta sa kalsada na People's Tribunal laban kay Vice President Sara? So ano yung mga recourses? Ngayon kasi as we speak, may nagrarally sa Supreme Court eh.
If there's even any recourse.
Any of those can be resorted to. Ayaw ko pa sana na magbanggit ngayon ng that we can initiate or any interested party can initiate impeachment process against the justices themselves. Ayaw ko pa sana. Pero that probability ay nandyan. Kasi kung, as you said, paano kung totally i-disregard yung motion for reconsideration? Dahil nga sinabi nila dun sa desisyon na immediately executory. But it doesn't mean ay final na. It doesn't mean wala nang pwedeng kumestyon. Kasi the very right to file MR is actually part of due process naman ng any party of any case, including the respondents here. So kung gano'n ang gagawin nila at magmatigas at maging strong sila, halimbawa they issue something, even a short resolution which would be tantamount to really yung parang lalong gigisgisin yung pag-insulto sa House as an institution, we cannot blame anyone or any group, or for that matter, the House itself, if it would also consider the filing of impeachment case against the Supreme Court justices themselves. Pero parang ano na rin yan, ang hirap nun eh. Sana hindi yan mangyari. Now we will be, you will be pushed to the corner na yan na lang ang tangi nating magiging solusyon. Kasi parang na rin yan constitutional crisis eh. That is actually a constitutional crisis because one co-equal body is going against another one head-on. Papa-impeach buo. So wala tayong magiging Supreme Court in the meantime. And so what happens to the administration, the workings of the administration of justice? So as much as possible, the ball actually is with the Senate, with the Supreme Court now, as well as the Senate. Supreme Court, dahil nga, they should take seriously a motion for reconsideration. And the arguments being put forward now by many groups, they should seriously consider that and consider and make a re-examination of what they did. And then yung sa Senate naman, sana they should avoid yung mga pronouncements or steps which would lend legitimacy to a still not final Supreme Court decision. Kasi if they start saying now, wala, susunod na lang kami sa Supreme Court, and therefore we are also dismissing this impeachment complaint at our level. So ginagatungan nila. They're just adding or lending legitimacy to what the Supreme Court did already, which is basically an assault against the Constitution dahil nga ginulo yung pinakaproseso or mechanism of accountability na malinaw naman na nakalagay sa Konstitusyon.
May tanong kayo.
Congresswoman, sorry, we're running quickly out of time, but I just had to pivot quickly and ask you about the politics, because before we had you on, we were talking about who the minority is in the House and in the Senate, and how the lines have been redrawn. So in the House, the Liberal Party members are with the minority.
Yes.
And in the Senate, though, we have confirmation now that Senators Bam and Kiko are with the majority. So may split, right? We've got a split right there. How should we be reading this? Well, where is the Liberal Party now?
Well, how I wish that people would be less judgmental, on the decision of both Kiko and Bam to join the majority. They have actually explained themselves, And ang importante ay makikita natin kung ano yung mga magiging posisyon nila sa mga mahalagang usapin. And including this, the impeachment. Per the news reports, they are part of a few na pumirma na sa isang resolution expressing the sense of the Senate that impeachment must continue. Yung para bang, advising the Supreme Court that as far as we are concerned, we want to continue. So that is a sort of a plea or an appeal to the Supreme Court to reconsider its decision. Another manifestation kung bakit si Kiko at si Bam, Senators Kiko and Bam, they continue to stick to their principles is that dun sa pag-file po ng resolution about open and transparent BICAM proceedings, they're also part of the minority that file that joint resolution, yung sa Senate version, sila yon, including si Senator Risa, Senator Ping Lacson, and Senator Tito Soto. Kami rin sa House, yung block namin. So that's already a manifestation what they're saying. Now that they can be expected or be trusted to decide on the side of truth and accountability.
Pero di ba Kong, medyo dysfunctional na binoto nila yung tao na the main person instrumental sa pag-delay ng impeachment. The one who tawag nila Mr. Forthwith, Mr. Remand, at yung naggawa ng predicate na pwedeng i-dismiss ng Senado yung impeachment kahit wala sa Constitution. Di ba medyo defining yon? Na bakit mo binoto yan? At ganito yung position mo, pero bakit binoto mo yung tao na main reason kung bakit na-delay itong impeachment at nagkaroon ng pagkakataon ng Supreme Court para pumasok?
I do not wish to second guess kung ano ang magiging explanation din dyan nila Senator Kiko and Bam. But that's it. Hindi lang naman dun sa issue na yan na may ganyan na disconnect sa kanilang paniniwala. Kasi insofar as Senator Bam and Kiko are concerned, they are after accountability and they're after the continuation of the impeachment proceedings or the impeachment trial. So even if bumoto sila kay SP Cheese, is hindi naman mawawala yung pinakaposisyon na yon. Now they got what they wanted, the chairmanship. They're really after those. They're very serious about those committee chairmanship because of their electoral promises as to education and as to agriculture. Education kay Senbam, agriculture kay Sen Kiko. So yun ang that's the driving force and the driving motivation sa kanila. That by being the chairpersons of these two key committees, they would be able to deliver on their respective campaign promises. So I think it would be unfair na mag-generalize yung pagtingin sa kanila ng baka na hindi sila nagiging consistent sa kanilang prinsipyo.
So they will stay true to their principles. This is just looks like just a case of strategic pragmatism.
Pero ma'am, at the same time, you do have to acknowledge that this has caused a lot of confusion and dissonance among those who are supportive or have been supportive of the traditional opposition. Isn't there any reason for you guys to be concerned na this will have medium to long-term effect on the stability and the integrity of the group?
Well, that is of course a concern, but that is something that would not really be that long-term, I should say. Because it really, again, depends on the performance of both senators in their respective chairmanships. You see, if they truly deliver, then the people, those who are who disagreed with their action, would I think have a change of mind. See, so I refuse to say now that this can have a long-term effect, particularly on the part of the opposition.
Yeah, fair point. Okay, We will have to leave that there. I'm so sorry, Congresswoman. We've run out of time, but we'll have you back another time to flesh this out more. Thank you so much for making time for us today, Congresswoman Laila De Lima.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, ma'am.
Kong.
Thank you,
Thank you, too.
Congresswoman.
Yes, have a good day. Thank you.
You are watching StoryCon on One News. We just need to take a very quick break. We'll